Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my July 2022 TBR. So this is mostly a Jane Austen July TBR. I have taken part in this at least the last 4 years. I don't think I did the first year. I think I missed it somehow because that was when I first joined BookTube. But whatever. I've taken part in at least 4 other years, or 3 other years. Whatever. I've taken part quite a few times, and I want to take part in again. So I have a lot of books that I'd like to get to for Jane Austen July, and then I have a lot of books I want to get to that are not Jane Austen July. So this is definitely going to be a mood reading month, as in I only have a couple of buddy reads, which I will talk about first, and then everything else is going to be, I'll do my Jane Austen July, and then I'll do all the other stuff. So let's just do the only commitments, the only things I have to read for sure in July is 2 of the Ilona Andrews Hidden Legacy series. So Tia at Tia and All the Books and I are reading through the Hidden Legacy series this year. We have the we're going to first read the novella Diamond Fire, which is between the 2 sets of trilogies in this series. I'm really looking forward to this. It's just about 140 pages, so this will be a quick read. We're going to do this over 2 days after, or early in the month. And then later in the month, we will do Sapphire Flames, which is book 1 in the second set of trilogies. So this is following, this one, these are following one of the other sisters. These are urban fantasy where magic was discovered in the 1800s by a serum, and it has changed our world is just slightly different, where there are houses of people who have magic, and the first book follows Nevada, who is a private investigator, and how she gets caught up in all the powers that be. This is one of her sisters, and this is her story, so I'm guessing this takes place, the second trilogy takes place a little bit after. This comes after the trilogy, but I think this is like a couple years later, or I'm not sure, but we'll see. Anyway, so Tia and I are continuing to read these. I really, really enjoyed the 3rd book in the first trilogy, so I'm looking forward to getting to those. So those are that's my only commitments this month that I'm like, I have to read those. Because it's a buddy read. So everything else, this is 20 books. 10 of them for Jane Austen, and 20 books that I'd like to get to. We'll see what happens. As I said, I'm very much letting myself just pick things up when I want to. June was really hard because I had so many buddy reads, and as much as I enjoyed all of them for different reasons, it was too much for me, and I should not have done that many all at once. But I got through them. But we're gonna now, so I guess have those 2 books, and then everything else is whatever I feel like. So let's start with the Jane Austen first. So Jane Austen July is put on every July by Katie at Books and Things, Marissa at Blatantly Bookish, and Claudia at Spinster's Library. So they do really great videos on everything. I'll have their announcement videos linked down below. As I said, this is one of my favorite monthly readathons or read-alongs that I just love to do it. They're just, I mean, I always pick up some interesting books. I've read a lot of retellings of Jane Austen books, and I have so many more. I'm not going to get to all of them, but we'll see. I'm just going to put up a couple of the books that I'm going to read for this. So they will have all the prompts. I'm following certain ones, not all of them. The first one is always to read one of Jane Austen's 6 novels. I am going to read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is my favorite book of all time. I look forward to it every year, getting to reread it. Especially since Jane Austen July started. So I'm not sure if I'm going to listen to the audiobook that I have by Rosamund Pike, or I'm going to read it physically. I bought these last year, new editions, because I had some really old ones that I had from college. Oh, actually, that one was from before college. Anyway, that was from high school. But the point is that I'm not going to explain what Pride and Prejudice. I think you all know. If not, you should have already read it by now, or you should be reading it. I love this book. As I said, it is my favorite. Every time I read it, I just love it. Anyway, so I might also pick up Persuasion. I love Persuasion almost as much. These are neck and neck for favorite books of all time. and my top two of the Jane Austen novels. So I might reread this as well. I think I have this on audio by Juliet Stevenson. So I might do that as well. So I don't know. So I might read these or I might listen to them. It just matters how I'm doing in the month. It's going to be interesting. And they're doing a read along. Sorry. I think the first 14 days, they're doing a read along for Pride and Prejudice. So I think there is, if you check their description boxes, I think they have a Goodreads group, which I'm not active on, but I'll probably read it anytime I feel like it. They also, later in the month, is doing Lady Susan, which is one of Jane Austen's other things that she wrote that is not a novel. So I decided I might pick up Lady Susan again. It's been a couple years since I read it, and I know it's really funny, about a woman who is trying to get her daughter married well, but also she's also getting involved herself. It's kind of funny. So I might read Lady Susan again, but they have a read along of that as well. So those are the Jane Austen actual ones. For nonfiction, I would like to read Jane Austen, A Life by Claire Tomlin. Last year, I did not get to this, and I didn't prioritize it either. So I read 3 pages. So I'm hoping to pick that up. I would like to read this. I read several other biographies on her, but this one I have not read yet, and it's been on my shelf for a couple years. I'd like to get to that. I'd like to also finish What Matters in Jane Austen by John Mullen. So 20 critical problems solved. So this one's really for people who have read all of her novels and all of her work that we have access to, like Lady Susan, the Watsons, and Sanditon, however you say that word. I read part of this, I think last year. I got to 114 pages and I stopped because I was like, well, maybe I should reread Mansfield Park. I don't remember it as well. And I was going to, and then I just ran out of time for the month. And so I put this down. And so I really would like to finish it. I think I do want to finish it, even though I haven't read Mansfield Park since college. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to Mansfield Park, at least not right now. I don't feel like it. If I do, then I'll change my mind. But I would really like to finish this book. So that was kind of like a hopeful finish it. Really want to get to the biography. And again, I do have another one on audio that I might pick up. So we'll see. I have too many books on here already, so I don't know what I'm going to get to. And then a couple of retellings that are based off of her books is I would like to get to, well, this is based off of her sister, actually, Jane Austen's sister, Miss Austen, which is by Gil Hornby. And so this is talking about Cassandra many years after Jane has passed away, and has to do with, I think, her taking care of some letters or something that might be something to do with Jane's letters. Yeah. So anyway, so I think it's more on her life and how it's connected to Jane's and stuff. So I would like to pick that one up. But my main priority of the retellings is The Other Bennet Sister by Janice Hadlow. This is a book that I started the year it came out. Was that 2020? From the library. And then I didn't get to finish it. I don't remember what happened. I didn't get to finish the book. So I think I read like the first chapter or two, and I think I just tried it one day and then I didn't get back to it. And so I would really like to read this, and because this is about Mary, again, from Pride and Prejudice, the middle sister of the Bennet sisters, and it's her story. And everybody always raves about this one, and I've never read it all the way through. I said I read a chapter or two. So I'd like to read that one this year, because I have read a lot of retellings, and most of them are Pride and Prejudice ones. I do have some other ones that are on my shelf. Like there's another couple Mary ones that I have, and another one on Kitty. And then I also have a Sense and Sensibility one, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that this year. As I said, I'm just trying to pick the prime ones that I think I'm going to hit. I will probably reread Heartstone by L. Catherine White. This is my favorite retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but this is with dragons. I love this book. The second two books in the series are fine. They definitely expand the world and make it different and beyond this first book. But this first book stands alone so well as just a Pride and Prejudice retelling, but with such good twists. I love this book, and I will probably reread it. And then I have the last two for Jane Austen July are two books from contemporaries, or close contemporaries of Jane Austen. The first one is The Monk by Matthew Lewis. So this is like one of the first Gothic novels. And I don't remember a whole bunch about it, except that it's supposed to be very weird and bizarre. That's about all I know. Sorry, I don't remember what this is about. I bought this several years ago and I've never picked it up. So I just think that would be kind of a weird one. And then also, I would like to try Sir Walter Scott. I have Ivanhoe on my shelf, so I might pick up this one. Waverly I've wanted to pick up for years. I don't have a copy yet. So I thought, well, maybe Ivanhoe. I do have an audiobook I got a long time ago for this as well. So I might read that. And I don't know anything about this one. You know, it's just a classic. So those are all the Jane Austen connected ones for Jane Austen July. So the rest of these books are ones I still want to get to that are not connected with that. I don't know how many of these I'm going to get to. These are all just kind of like the possibilities that if I need to switch it up, these are what I'm going to go to. My first one is definitely Hairbringer, which is the 4th book in the Book of the Order by Philippa Balladine. So this is the last book in this series. I would really want to finish it this next month. So I want to continue this. And so this is following deacons who are magic users who protect the public from geists and specters and things like that, who are trying to break in from the other dimension into this world. And there's a whole lot of political stuff going on there's a pretender to the crown, and also the emperor and his sister who were brought over from another country to kind of take over when things kind of went wrong in this country. So, and there's so many things happening by this book, I can't tell you what's going on, but I've really enjoyed the series. Definitely went in directions I didn't go. It's short, but it takes time. So I'm hoping by the end of the month, I will get to that one. I would really like to read For the Throne by Hannah Winton. I did reread For the Wolf a couple weeks ago. So this book just came out this month and I just haven't had a chance to pick it up. I've been just reading so many other things. So this is the 2nd book in a duology. The 1st book, For the Wolf, was following Rhaenyra as she is sacrificed to the wood to bring back the kings of old. And when she gets there, she thinks she's going to be killed by the wolf because she's being sacrificed to him, but it's not what she seems. And then her sister, who is the lead in this one, in the 1st book, she is trying to get her sister back from the woods. And it's the misperceptions of time, of what really happened, what history has told them happened, and what really happened. And then the magic involved is really good. I really liked the 1st book. As I said, it was one of my favorite books of last year. So I'm looking really forward to the 2nd book. I just haven't had time to pick it up, and I definitely want to dedicate some time. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the first books I pick up in July, but we'll see. I'm in the middle of so many books right now, but that's definitely one. So a couple of books that I kind of like to get to, I keep staring at them, is a couple, this one's like an urban fantasy, I think, as Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. The 1st book in the Stay a Spell series. I think this is like wolves and, or, you know, shapeshifters and like witches. And I think the wolf can't transform, he's not able to transform into his werewolf form or whatever. And he finally goes to a witch who doesn't like them. And I think there's a romance of some sort. Anyway, looks good. I've had it for a while. I really like to read that. This is more, I don't know if this is Victorian or Regency kind of era, where a woman is, I don't know, I think she's out to, like, so it might be Regency, but she has like marriage stuff, but she has half a soul. Somehow a fairy stole half of her soul or something. And so she kind of comes off differently from everybody else. And because she's missing half her soul, and one of the eligible bachelors, I guess, is more interested in her because of her half soul status. And I think something happens with that. I don't know, but I have the indie print of this. It was picked up by, was it Tor? So is a new version is coming out. It might be out by the time this video comes out. I think it was on the 28th of June. So I don't know, I'm going to read this version. I don't know if there's any differences between the two. Maybe somebody else can tell me that. But I'd like to read this and then continue the series. The next 2 books are coming out in July and August, so it's a trilogy. So I'd like to read that. I really need to get to the Black Coast by Mike Brooks. This is an epic fantasy series about 2, I think, kingdoms who used to fight all the time, and then one time they come across the sea and they think, oh, they're going to fight again, and it turns out actually they're refugees now, and now it's them dealing with them having refugees from these people who they used to fight all the time. So this is one of those series where I accidentally bought the second book before I bought the first book, and the third book is coming out in September. So I need to read the first book to know if I want to pre-order the third book, because I already have the second book. Anyway, so I need to read this. It's a big chunker one, but I'd like to get to that. One of my pre-orders from this year is The Lamplighters by Emma Stone. Stone? I don't know. So this one is about some 3 lightkeepers go missing in 1972 off Cornwall. And then it kind of jumps 20 years later, and I think we follow the women that they left behind and why, instead of being really close, they're actually not. Something obviously happened. So I don't know. I bought this. I need to read it. It's one of my pre-orders. I'd also like to get to The Devil You Know by Kit Rocha. This is book 2 in the Mercenary Librarian series. The third book is coming out in August. So I've read the first one last year and I enjoyed it. I just had a little trouble with one of the plot points, but I definitely like Kit Rocha and I want to continue their series. These characters, there's like it's an apocalyptic world, and they're these women who are they're gathering information. So that's why the mercenary librarians are trying to gather as much information, because there's not a lot of information, not like libraries or things like that. The world is kind of, collapsed, and big corporations are what's in charge. And then we're also finding a group of men who are soldiers who worked for one of those corporations, but then because they wouldn't do some bad things, they were like let go. And then the issues that they have of with that in the first book is kind of how that one starts. This one is farther on again. This is a little later, and two new characters for the romance, but all the characters are still here. So I'm really excited to get back to that, and I'd like to get to that before the next book gets out. I would really like to read The Queen of Raiders by Sarah Kozlov. This is the second book in the 9 Realms series. I read the first book in January. I keep putting this off. I need to continue the series. It's a 4-book series. I have them all. I need to read the series. It follows a queen and her heir and how things start to fall apart around them and what decisions they make in the first book. And the first book definitely went in ways I didn't expect it to. I really liked it, and it ended where I should have picked up the book right away, but I just didn't. So I need to get back to that one. I would really like to pick up Certain Dark Things by Silvia Marina Garcia. I've been meaning to pick this up since I got it. It's really a short one, but it's vampires in Mexico City. I don't remember if it's the 80s. I don't remember what the time frame is, but it just sounds really cool. A little different take on it. And it's not super big, but I've kept staring at this on my shelf and I just haven't picked it up yet. And the last book I would like to pick up is Strange Love by Anne Agrier. So this is her first book in her indie published sci-fi romance. And I think the alien is trying to find his mate and he keeps getting denied in the marriage mart kind of thing that happens every year. And somehow this woman from Earth gets into the drawing somehow. And she's totally normal, like a teacher or something. I don't know what it is. I don't remember what she's supposed to be. Doesn't think she's going to get married. And then suddenly she's with this alien. I don't know. I've just heard funny things about it. So I'd like to read that too. But we don't know. I don't know what I'm going to read of all these. These are all the ones that are just calling to me right now. So this is a huge pile of possibilities. There are no way I'm going to read all 20 of these books. I might read 20 books this month, but I don't know if they're going to be these ones. So if there's anything here you think I definitely need to pick up, let me know. I'm really excited about all of them. Again, all the Jane Austen stuff, all the other fantasy stuff that I want to get to for different reasons are all calling to me. And again, the only 2 books I am for sure going to read are the Ilona Andrews ones because I have Buddy Read, the Buddy Read with Tia on it. So these are for sure. Everything else is just a maybe. Let me know what you think I should pick up and what are you reading for July, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.